Hello, all. The clients, Dr. Smith and Jacobson, approached me about this unique space with an embedded garden and a long list of programming requirements. So I set forth to do some research to ensure that the resulting design would be as cutting edge as their own ideas. I began with looking at a case study, Clínica Alejandria in Spain. Like the Berry Clinic, it has a central outdoor courtyard that could be used to bring in more natural light. I was very inspired by the overall vibe and the materials used to create this lovely space. Walnut, travertine, and clay create a warm contemporary vibe. I also pulled further research into trends into healthcare design and discovered three overarching themes: the use of color, the integration of biophilia and biomimicry into designs, and finally, the trend of designing exam rooms to be more boutique hotel than medical. After gathering all of this research, I was ready to create the concept that would drive the center's unique design. I began with word mapping the concepts the doctors discussed with me and grouped these into three buckets: scientific, holistic, and spiritual. All three inform their practice and should inform my design approach as well. As I added the words to the diagram, I kept coming back to the idea of diverse ecosystems: complex, alive, self healing, tranquil. This brought up visions of a coral reef for me. Speaking of health, coral reefs are innately tied to healing. Coral is not a plant or a series of pretty rocks. They're alive and made up of animals. Millions of them come together to create reefs, complex organisms that host enormous, diverse ecosystems of fish, algae, sponges, and millions of ocean species. What a great metaphor for this new innovative healing center. But coral reefs aren't only a great metaphor, they're physically beautiful. So here's some projects that I found that are inspired by the beauty of reefs. David Trubridge's Coral Light, a design for student housing in France. The Sheeling Bridge, gorgeous, right? Fun stuff like PQ David's Coral Modular Furniture. Algae Tile by Yanko Design. This is actually supposedly self-healing tile, which is amazing. And Mark Forbes's incredible biomimetic sculptures. I started sketching and gathering shapes and colors and ideas together and formed the logo for Montipora Health, which is the new name we gave the clinic. Montipora is one of the many genuses of coral known for its diversity. So let's go on to the layout and design then. So here's the overall layout. I aim to keep the shapes and the curves of the space flowing and organic, but you still need to mount casework and keep the clinic as functional as possible. So the curves are there, but not as much as maybe a coral reef would be. So starting the healing garden, I designed it to be circular and organic with a central gathering zone. It's covered by a solar curtain glass pyramid roof. From the healing garden, you can enter the lobby, which wraps around the garden fully, so clients can take a seat anywhere and just meditate as they wait. The universal washroom is fully accessible to the lobby as well, and the nursing station is right around the corner for convenience. Across from the nursing station are the exam rooms. They're staggered down the hallway and all windowed. Between the exam rooms are the therapy rooms. Now, I blended the two practices here for privacy because you don't know who's going in which room, right? As well as for the idea that both practices could use all rooms when needed. The offices line the north side of the space with a larger counseling office occupying the corner suite because she needs a larger space. Group therapy is close to the healing garden and to the lobby, so easy access for the group participants. The staff-only areas are central, so no windows, or locked off from the main area. However, the staff room has direct window access because it's so important for the mental health of staff to be able to access the daylight. Almost all of the client areas border a window, providing that direct sunlight as well. Overall, this is the balance of the space. But it's one thing to look at it in 2D and be like, okay, I can see how that's laid out. It's another thing to see it, to walk through it yourself. So I created a 3D rendering walking tour of the space to give you a real sense of what I'm proposing. Starting with the healing garden at night. That awesome light up furniture in the center is by Meridiano, and the bollard lights line the cobblestone paths. There are these little work pods with shading and a contemplating bench at the end. The garden is a mix of floral and flora and greenery. So now, as the morning comes upon us, we're going to enter the lobby and take a pause to view the modular furniture and various Design Tech's health-rated fabrics. The coral wallpaper by Cole and Son, the light oak wood slat walls, and the impact acoustic felt panels. These all create warmth in the space, but also acoustic dampening. The pendants are by David Trubridge, coral above the seating area, and navicular, I love these, above the reception desk. Let's move towards the exam rooms. Hey, Doc. Past the universal washroom, well marked on several levels for anyone to locate. Into the exam room, I really leaned into this trend of designing upscale boutique hotel or exam rooms. I used Herman Miller Mora casework in that light oak, and that stunning mural on the wall is called Waves by Hohenberger. If you look up, you're going to find more impact acoustic round ceiling panels, and the wall lights there are by Ferro Barcelona. They're also acoustic. As we leave, you see the wood slat wall, more acoustic dampening, and the glass on the pocket door goes dark for privacy. Out in the hall, you'll see the wayfinding to suit needs for everyone. There are large numbers and colors on the walls and doors, as well as digital screens with physical braille numbers for each room. Traveling past the nursing station, the charting and dictation room, where I've installed soundproof privacy booths, one for each doctor. And let's go into the counseling office. Now, I love this room. It's warm and cozy and inviting. Again, the David Trubridge coral light casts a gorgeous glow in the desk-lit room. Comfortable Design Tech's health fabrics cover the modern furniture, and more Herman Miller casework is used in offices. But this series is canvas. So let's head down to the group therapy room now. The other offices in clean and dirty core along this hallway are not marked, but would be labeled staff only. As we enter into the group therapy room, you'll notice the ceiling here. It's made up of ceiling tiles in Verre Noir by Turf Acoustic with LED troffer lights interspersed. The Herman Miller caper chairs here that the participants are sitting in are stackable, and the little arms are removable. We have one more room to visit, but let's head back through the lobby where we can look at it by another angle. I really, really love those navicular lights. They're inspired by creatures who live in the coral reef system, and they're made from bamboo. All right, down the hallway, past the additional lobby seating to the staff-only zone, protected by these double doors, and let's go into the staff room. Now, this room has a little lounge with lots of nice sunlight and a little kitchenette for lunches. The staff also, because of the position, have their own access to the view of the healing garden as well, so it could sit outside of that room. So that pretty much sums up the tour. We'll leave through the staff entrance and exit and go sit in the garden and take any questions. I thank you very much for your time.